6'5" guard builds are slowly becoming the new meta in NBA 2K26. A guard build that is very fast and can dunk, shoot, dribble, and play defense at the absolute highest levels. Trust me, you're going to want to make this build ASAP. This is one of my favorite builds I have ever used. So I have two different versions of this build for you guys depending on which game modes you play and different things like that. So for version number 1, we're going to go with a shooting guard, 6'5" for the height, 205 pounds, and a 6'10" wingspan. This build is more so for 2s, 3s, and 5s. The next version I'm going to give you is more so a 1s build and, you know, doesn't really have any pass ag or rebounding or anything like that. But this is the version for 2s, 3s, and 5s. You can for sure definitely have so much fun playing on the 5s with this build. I'm so excited to actually use this on the 5s. I actually haven't yet. Moving into the attributes for this build, I was not lying to y'all. This build can do it all. Starting with the finishing, we have a 75 close shot, 80 driving layup, 89 driving dunk, 45 standing dunk, and a 35 post control. For the shooting, we have an 85 midi, 87 three-pointer, and a 78 free throw. For playmaking, we have a 71 pass ag, 85 ball handle, and an 86 speed with ball. And then defense, can't forget about the defense. We have a 48 interior defense, 90 perimeter defense, 73 steal, and a 43 block, with okay rebounding at 34 and 56, with pretty good physicals as well, with a 90 speed, 84 agility, 51 strength, and a 78 vertical. When you take a look through this entire build, there's nothing that this build can't do. We can dunk at a high level with that 89 driving dunk. We can obviously shoot with an 85 midi and 87 three-pointer. That is more than enough to shoot. We get great dribble moves with an 85 ball handle. We can move very fast with the ball with an 86 speed with ball. And then for the defense, we cannot forget about that. 90 perimeter defense is really good in this game. And a 73 steal, you could cap breaker that up to like an 85 and get like gold interceptor and, you know, get some, get glove, I think, maybe up to silver or gold. Or if you want to like max plus one that, you can get some really good defense as well. Even though it doesn't look the best, you can still get some great defense with that 90 perimeter and a 73 steal. And you can also cap breaker perimeter up to like 92 if you want, some better defensive badges there. But anyway you want to go about your cap breakers, you could +5 your driving dunk to 94 and get some crazy dunk animations if you want to go that route. If you have a bunch of cap breakers, especially if you have a lot of cap breakers, if you're a high rep, you've been hitting level 40 every season, you can really make this build really good if you have a lot of cap breakers. There's really no weaknesses on this build, so you can really just make everything that this build has and just make it even better. Whether that's the dunk, getting that's like a 94 and getting some crazy dunk animations, elevating your shooting, getting your mid-range or your three-pointer up there. Playmaking, I really wouldn't touch anything there because ball handle, all you really need is an 85. If you're 6'5 to 6'9, if you're in those height ranges, really all you need is an 85. And then speed with ball, you can only get up to 88 on this build, and that doesn't give you lightning launch on any higher tiers, so there's really no point in cap breaker and speed with ball. And pass ag 71 is definitely fine, so I wouldn't cap breaker anything on the playmaking side. Defense, like I said, you can get perimeter up to like 92 is really all you need. And then steal, you can get up to like an 85, I think, because steal at being only at a 73, you can get that to like an 85 with only like 2 or 3 cap breakers, I think. So, you know, definitely you can go that route. I wouldn't really touch anything on the rebounding, obviously, definitely not. And then physicals, I think you're all good here with a 90 speed, 84 agility, 51 strength. Strength doesn't really matter that much, and a 78 vertical. I wouldn't cap breaker anything on the physical side. But if you do have a lot of cap breakers, there is really unlimited ways you can go with this. But if you only have a handful, like say if you only have like 5 or 6, I would honestly probably put those into defense, maybe get like that 92 perimeter and try and get your steal up a little bit as well. That's probably the way I would go if I only had a couple cap breakers, because you could get your driving up to 94, but you don't really need that. I think defense is probably more valuable to go with cap breakers if you only have a couple. That's probably the way I would go with it. But yeah, this version is super dope. I think this build is really fire. A lot of people don't make 6'5s in this game, which I don't know why. I think 6'5s get one of the most attributes in the entire game. So I think that's why 6'5s are becoming like the new meta in this game. But once you guys are done, go ahead and press continue. Get your shades of John Starks, Anthony Edwards, and VJ Edgecombe. And your archetype name is a 2-way 3-level shot creator. If you guys take a look at that bottom right corner, this build actually has 0 weaknesses. If you are a 2s, 3s, or 5s player, this is definitely the version you want to make. And for version number 2, this is the 1-score version. You're going to keep the same position and height, obviously. The weight, I went down to 195, and the wingspan, I went down to 6'8". You really don't even have to change the weight and the wingspan that much to be any like bet, because it doesn't really change the attributes that much, like the thresholds and everything like that. I just personally go lower weight and lower wingspan because I feel like I move better on the 1-squirt like that. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I go lower weight and wingspan for 1-squirt build just because I feel like it moves better on the court when I'm like dribbling and stuff like that on offense. Even on defense, I feel like I just move a lot better when my players like less weight and shorter arms. I don't know why. I just feel like that might just be a me thing, but I feel like my player just moves a whole lot better on the 1-squirt when my weight and wingspan are like that. Even though higher weight and wingspan is typically better for defense, I don't know. I just feel like I move better with less. It's probably just a me thing. Honestly, just comes down to preference probably, so you can just adjust that to whatever you like. For the attributes for this version, not a crazy difference, but still definitely a little bit different than version number 1. We have a 75 close shot, 72 driving layup, 89 driving dunk, 45 standing, and a 35 post control. Shooting is a little bit better with a 90 mid-range, 88 three-pointer, and a 65 free throw. This is the one score. We don't need any free throws, so I took that down. Into the playmaking, don't need any pass accuracy on the one score, so I took that down as low as I could to a 60. And then we kept the same ball handle too, with ball at an 85 and 86. That is really like the ideal sweet spot for a 6'5" to 6'9" build, is that 85 ball handle, 86 speed with ball. So we kept that the exact same. And the defense actually got a little bit better. We put the interior at a 48. Perimeter we bumped up 2 spots to a 92, and the steal we bumped up 6 to a 79. You can still get cap breakers and get that up to like an 85 if you wanted to get your badges up. And the block, we kept that at a 43. At 6'5", you don't get a crazy amount of blocks anyway, so you really don't need it that much. And then rebounding, possession resets every time on the one score, so you don't need any rebounding at all. I put that as low as I possibly could to keep, all the defensive attributes and stuff at a 27 O board and 52 D board. Then the physicals are pretty much the same as well. 90 speed, 84 agility, 52 strength, and a 78 vertical. I don't know, man. I'm starting to like higher speed builds a lot more this year, so that 90 speed is definitely going to come in handy for along with that 84 agility. For the one score, I think this build is really good. Like, it's pretty much the same as the other build, just no pass sack, free throw, or rebounding, which have no impact on the one score at all. We get a little bit better shooting with a higher mid-range and a higher three-pointer. We get better defense with a 92 perimeter and 79 steal without cap breakers. We kept the same dunk rating, same physicals. I think this build is honestly, like, overall better, but I wouldn't really bring this build to the 2s, 3s, or 5s just because of that low pass sack, and obviously over on the 5s, that free throw is pretty bad. But, if you guys go with the 2s, 3s, or 5s build, or you guys play those game modes, please go with the other build and don't use this one. But this build is still very solid as well. I think it's honestly a little bit better because the shooting is a lot better. You get a 90 mid-range and an 88 three-pointer rather than an 85 midi and an 87 three-pointer. And then the defense as well, getting up to a 92 and a 79 steal without using any cap breakers. Now, for cap breakers on this build, if you have only a couple, I would still honestly put them in the defense. Honestly, I would probably just go steal, or maybe shooting as well, because I mean the shooting's already a little bit better, but can never have enough shooting. So if you have a couple cap breakers, maybe go steal and shooting as well if you guys want to do that. But if you have a lot of cap breakers, like 15, if you hit level 40 or high rep, you can really put them anywhere. Like I said, this build's really good, so you can really do whatever you want. You can still get that 94 driving dunk for those crazy dunk animations too, if that's the way you want to go. But like I said, that's all up to you, whether you want to use where you want to use your cap breakers on steal, dunk, shooting, whatever you want to do with that, honestly. So once you guys are done with this build, go ahead and press continue. Get your shades of Anthony Edwards, J.R. Smith, and John Starks. And your archetype is the same name, 2-way 3-level shot creator. This build only has one weakness just because I took down the pass X. That doesn't matter. But yeah, man, overall, really, really solid builds in my opinion. The 6'5", I think, is definitely going to start taking over in NBA 2K26. I feel like this height is so slept on for builds. So yeah, if you want to hop on that wave, go ahead and make this build right here. So there are my 2 versions of the best 6'5" build in NBA 2K26. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I will see y'all in the next video.